Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. Well, we've got a little repair we have to take care of here. And you'll notice, well, for one, it's actually a left-handed instrument, and it's unfortunately a brand new branded. I'm not going to say it, but it might be fairly evident by certain geometries. But what you'll notice here is that the first string slot is nasty low. I mean, nasty low. That's like, it's just too low. And, I can tolerate certain things at the the outside of spec, because you have to consider the wear factor. Just because you cut something and it's fresh and it's new and all that wonderful stuff, it will wear. Your original cuts and stuff will eventually wear, and you want to account for a certain amount of that. So you leave a little extra air under certain. But look at this. This is crazy low. Anyway, we're going to share with you today a couple of really super kind of cool little tips regarding nut slot repair. Now, this particular nut, which is made of tusk or graphite, and affixed to this wonderful G branded instrument, is not bone. And I'm going to show you my preference in terms of repairing something like this. Now, you might think that, one slot, geez, I mean, the whole thing's trash. I mean, how do you repair this? Well, you can. This is the trick. This is how you do it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take off some of that tension there carefully, okay? And I have this is a 10 gauge string that's on there, by the way. But I'm going to use a 13 gauge notch file here, okay, or slotting file. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean out that slot a little bit. Sorry if I make a mess of things and bump stuff, but it is what it is. I'm not cutting, I'm just cleaning. There's a difference. I wanted to look at it and be able to see that there's no garbage in that cut. It was cut pretty far forward too. Not much of a leading edge on it. Anyway, so that's fine by me. So that slot has been cleaned up. Now here's one of two tricks. This is my handy dandy poker, whatever you want to call it. This thing gets just an amazing amount of mileage around the, all types of guitars, simply because it gets into places and does things, rescues things, inspects things, tests things. It's a pretty cool tool. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the bottom of this slot. I just got to feel for the forward edge, and then poke, 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 poke. Might be 3 or 4 or more, depending. Now, see what I did there? What I did was just I put teeth. I just literally put teeth in the bottom of that slot. What that's going to do is help to hold on to whatever filler material is going to go in there. And guess what that is? Look at this. Ooh, yeah, it's party time. Not quite. What that is, I just made a mess. Sorry, I'll have to clean that up. But what that material actually is it's just an old saddle I have. It's a graphite saddle, and I just powdered up a little bit of material on it using a file, not sandpaper, because the grit from the sandpaper will get in there, and then it's polluted. But I cleaned the file first, and then I just used, and it was a pretty aggressive file because this stuff it clogs up finer tools and stuff. Eh? But anyway, point is, this is the same material as this. It's not baking soda. It's not bone. It's not anything other than the same material. So it's going to have a natural affinity for the bond and all good things. Same material. Yeah, the next step is the actual glue itself, which if you have any familiarity with this type of trick, you will know that it is, yes, it's our trusty CRAZY. Crazy glue. Anyway, I'm going to just make sure that this is going to flow the way I want it. Okay, just a teeny tiny drop. If I get it on the outside, I'm not worried about that. It'll clean up pretty quick. Okay, there you go. So I wipe it off with my finger. So the material that's, or the amount that's sitting in there is just enough to fill the void. And now we'll take a little bit of this powdered graphite / tusk material. They don't have to be, real pretty about it. Although with finer materials like bone and stuff like that, you can, they'll drop in they'll drop in really nice and neat. So I'm trying to work around the camera here, so my view is a little compromised. And it might not look the prettiest, but I guarantee you it will work. So I'm just using this. This is it's just a jeweler's screw that I've modified to just a blade point. Use it again. It's one of those things where you get creative with your tools, and amazing things can happen. Anyway, now this looks pretty ugly at the moment, but we're going to clean this up. And the beautiful thing about crazy glue is that it cures so frickin' fast. It's crazy. No pun intended. Sorry. Anyway, I gotta put. I'm working behind the scenes here. I don't want my my supply to dry up here, so I'm trying to cap it off. There we go. Okay, that'll do. Now on with the show. So to make a point here, I will put the string back in position. I might clean that up a little bit after the fact, but it's pretty much back to normal. Look at how high that string sits now. Okay, you can see that. That's crazy high. When your mouth is getting dry, you plenty high, right? Right? You got it. Anyway, 1 second while I fix something up here. So the next step is to cut the slot. Okay, so I will take that out. Now because, see, it's I slipped off because it's actually, it's flush. Anyway, but keep in mind, as I go through this, and you can see like if you watch some of my other videos and stuff, you'll notice that I don't necessarily mask off the back edge here, because when you've done this for 1,000 years, I got tons of clearance there. I mean, know your tools, know your processes. Anyway, but the point is, the slot has been filled with sympathetic material. Therefore, it will resonate and perform very much like the original material. trying to ramp this properly. Okay. So I'm going to say, so I gotta move my light a little bit here. We get a little bit of glare in some of these videos. I want to try to give you as best a representation as I possibly can. But that right there, I already cut the other strings, so I know that they're good. But I'm just going to give this first string just a little bit more. Sorry if I keep bumping stuff, but I'm working at a disadvantage here. Look at that. That is just about, that's perfect right there. I'm just going to clean that back edge up a little bit. Some debris hanging out. And just because this is repaired and recut does not mean it's done. I will put some lube in there to make sure that it wears in properly and that it doesn't go, you know, when you turn the key. Because even though it has the proper repair material mixed with the CA glue is still the problem, even though it's the savior at the same time, because it is essentially when it secures, it's plastic. It plasticizes. So we don't necessarily want the string riding on a plastic, and that's when you're going to get that you know, that creaking sound and all the ugliness that goes along with it. So anyway, this is, by the way, this guitar is being set up down a full tone, so that's where the pitches are sitting. But we are more or less at the end of this this little video. I hope you get something out of that. Okay. So our end result is very copacetic. This will be a very, you know, fine job, I'm sure, once it's all done. I will add that the actual relief in the neck is over straight. Reason I do that is that it gives me a cushion. It gives me some breathing room, so that when things get up to speed and in the final phases, I can adjust the relief and maximize full playability and really, you know, fine tune the you know, the string heights and stuff like that. In other words, it's a cushion, right? It is what it is. I mean, it's safety, the safety factor. Anyway, I'll stop blabbing. I hope you got something out of that. As always, read the description below this video, and take full advantage of the resources I have on my website. And as always, play loud, have fun, and have a great day. Cheers! Thanks.